Hi everyone, today for Number Corner you're going to need your math notebook where we put our calendar grid observations and then we put our two graphs in there yesterday. So you're going to need this and a pencil, so if you need to pause the video and get those, go ahead and do that now. If you are ready, we are going to start by looking at our calendar. So yesterday we looked at numbers 1 and 2, which we looked at a loop, and then we looked at a ratio table. Today for number 3, it's a snowman. So it says 1 snowman, and then it says how many spheres. So for the 1 snowman, I have 3 spheres, 1, 2, and then 3. So everybody get out your calendar grid observations right here, and we're going to fill it in. So for the date, today's date is September 2nd. So we're going to write 9-2, and you're going to put that right underneath the ratio table that we did yesterday. So we're skipping a line right there. 9-2, okay? And this is a picture. So the model, we're going to say it's a picture. Okay, and then for the description, again, we have 1 snowman. So go ahead and write 1 snowman. And then we have 3 spheres. So then write 3 spheres. You might have to write it a little tiny. I kind of went over the box, but that's okay. So you have your date, it's a picture, and then 1 snowman with 3 spheres. And then for our equation, so we have 1 snowman with 3 spheres. So our equation is going to be 1 times 3 equals 3. Is our equation. 1 times 3 equals 3. Okay. When you're ready, we're going to go on to our next one, number 4. So number 4 looks like this. So I have four little squares right there. So this is, we're going to call it an array. So again, we're not going to put the date. We're just going to go on that next line, which I'm actually going to skip a line because I ran out of room writing my snowman. So I'm going to skip a line to make sure it stays neat. So I'm going to write an array. This is called an array. Okay, an array. And for the description, it wants us to say that there are 4 rows with 1 square in each. So rows go this way, 1, 2, 3, 4, and they all just have 1 square in each. So we're going to put 4 rows with 1 square. Okay. 4 rows with 1 square. And I know this camera flips it, but you can kind of see how I did that. Array, 4 rows with 1 square, right there. Okay, and if we have 4 rows, each with 1 square, our equation is going to be 4 times 1. So in your equation box, you're going to put 4 times 1 equals 4. So when we're talking about multiplication, anything multiplied by 1 is always itself. So 3 times 1 is 3, 2 times 1 is 2, 4 times 1 is 4. Okay, so that's it for our calendar. Now we're going to move on to our graph. So I want you to look at your other graph right here. We're going to fill it in together. Remember, we're going to look at it this way. Or, I'm sorry, this way. Okay, so I put a survey on Schoology, and if you did it, fine. If not, that's fine too, about what your favorite sport is. So our graph title over here is going to be, you can say, our favorite sports. And it's a title, so it needs to be capitalized. Okay. And then the scale label right here, these numbers are going to represent the number of people, just like our other graph. So we're going to write number of people down there. Or we could, yeah, number of people is fine. You could say students if you want to. Number of people, number of students, right here. Okay, and then we are going to list our categories right here. So I put on there football as one. I put soccer, dance, and then swimming. Okay, so we have our categories right here, and now we need to label our categories. So this can be types of sports. I'm gonna put for my label. Types of sports. Okay, so for my graph title, I have our favorite sports. I have my categories here with a label, types of sports, and then number of people or number of students on this side. Okay, for football, at this time, some of you might have done it after I made this video, and that's fine too, but when I looked at it just now, 5 people liked football. So we have to look at our scale, and our scale is going up by 2s. So just kind of like how we had to do the 3, we're going to have to cut one of those boxes in half. So I'm going to do 2, then 4, and then I'm going to go halfway up to 6 to make 5. So it should look like this. Okay. For soccer, I'm going to use a different color. We use purple. And when I looked at it just now, 2 people said that they really like soccer. So I'm just going to color in that first box to show that 2 people really like soccer. Just like that. Dance, same with dance. When I looked at it right now, 2 people said that they like dance. So I'm going to do just like I did for soccer, except I'm going to get a different color. And I'm going to make 2 people. 2 people like dance, just like this. And then swimming. Swimming was the winner. 8 people said that they liked swimming. So I'm going to get a different color, and I'm going to do 8. So I have 2, 4, 6, and then 8. And so my graph should look like that. 8 swimmers, 2 dancers, 2 soccer players, and then 5 people really liked football. Okay, that's our graph. All right, for our next activity, I would like you to turn to your next page. So you have your 2 graphs here, and then you're going to turn 1 page. And on the top of this page, I know it's flipped, but I have loops and groups we're gonna type, or I'm sorry, write, loops and groups. So I will give you a second to write the title on that page, loops and groups. Okay. So now I'm going to change my camera. What we're gonna do is, if we were in class, we would have played a loops and groups game for me against you guys. So, but we're just going to draw it on our piece of paper to learn more about loops and groups and what that means. So let's see if I can change my camera. Okay. All right, here is my whole class loops and groups game sheet. So again, I'm just going to show you real quick while I have this camera. I have the loops and groups on the top of my page in my notebook. Okay. So this is my loop spinner and this is my group spinner. So loops and groups represents multiplication. So I'm going to start by spinning my loops spinner to see how many loops I want to make. So let's do it again. 5 loops. So in your book, and I'll do the best I can to show you, you are going to make 5 loops or 5 circles. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Those are our loops. Okay, now I want to do my groups. So I'm going to see what I'm going to put into my circles. Okay, I'm going to put I'm going to put 3 squares in each of my loops. So in each of your loops, you're going to put 3 squares. 1, 2, 3. Just like that, and you can do it with me. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, now I'm going to give you a second to think about what multiplication fact we can make from this. So think about it, write it on your paper. What multiplication fact can we make from this loop and group? Okay, so what I like to do is I like to count my loops first. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5 loops. Okay, and I know I'm doing multiplication with loops and groups, so I'm multiplying. Okay, and then I have 3 squares in each loop. So 5 times 3. And if I don't know what 5 times 3 is yet, I can just count my squares. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 5 times 3 equals 15. All right, let's do another loop and group. So my loop spinner, let's see what I get. 5 again. Okay, let's do 5 loops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And make sure you're doing this nice and neat in your math notebook with me. Okay, so I have 5 loops. Now I want to do my groups. Oh, I'm going to pick a different one since we just did that one. Okay, so this is 6 circles. 6 circles in each one. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Make sure you're doing this with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so I'll give you a second to think about what equation you would make from this loop and group. Okay, you should have written down an equation on the bottom of your paper right here. So let's do it together. So first I'm going to count my loops. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 loops. I know it's multiplication because I'm doing loops and groups. And I'm going to count how many I have 6 in one loop. So 5 times 6. Okay, and then I can count all of my little circles to get my answer. So make sure you are only counting the amount of groups inside one loop to get this number. Okay, you're not counting all of them to get that number. Okay, so now let's count them all to get the answer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. So 5 times 6 equals 30. All right, let's do one more. Okay, so I'm going to get my loops. Okay, 4 loops. All right, so I'm going to make 4 loops. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and now I want to do my groups. Ooh, okay, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 triangles. 5 triangles I'm putting in there. All right, make sure you're doing it with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so I'll give you a second to think about what equation you would make from this loop and group. Okay, first I always count my loops. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 loops. So I'm going to write the number 4. Okay, and then I'm going to count how many triangles I have in one loop. So in one loop, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 triangles. So 4 times 5. Then to find the answer, I could either just know 4 times 5, which you should start learning your facts, or I can count how many triangles I have in all 4. So let's count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So 4 times 5 equals 20. All right. So make sure you have this in your notebook. I'm going to show you the graph once again on here, just so you can make sure you have it right, because I know it was flipped when I was showing it to you on the other camera. So make sure you have your labeling right and your numbers right, and then make sure you have your calendar grid observations correct. Okay? All right, everyone. Great job. Have a good day.